Hey everyone, I'm Jenna Abisha from Fairfax Cryobank. I'm one of the laboratory technicians, and today we're showing you how to unbox your vials when receiving it at your home for a home insemination. Before you begin unboxing, here's what you'll need. A pair of insulated gloves. They could be gardening gloves, dishwashing gloves, or thin winter gloves like so. Some paper towels. Protective eyewear such as glasses or goggles. A pair of scissors to open up the box and the tank inside, and then a clean space to prepare the sample. Inside your box, you'll have an envelope, and inside that envelope will be packet paperwork, which will include a packing slip information, pregnancy report, a summary of records or SOR for each specimen date, and a genetic carrier status testing report if one is available for your donor, as well as printed instructions for our home insemination. Also inside the box will be a cryotank secured with a cable tie, and inside that cryotank will be an inner canister with a handle, and inside that canister will be semen specimens and cryovials attached to an aluminum cane that is covered by a cane sleeve. If requested, there will be one needleless syringe per vial, and then there will also be a FedEx air bill / return label and a cable tie for tank return. Now let's begin the unboxing. So the first step is to check your box contents for these items, starting with the paperwork. When you open the box, there will be this little plug here to keep everything safe and secure. Go ahead and set that aside. Next up, we'll grab the envelope with all of your paperwork. Now let's open this up. The first thing I see is a packing slip, and what we'll do is check that packing slip to show the correct recipient, which would be your name at the top, the donor, and the type and number of specimens that you ordered. The packing slip will also include the post-thaw analysis and an identification label for each cryovial. The next step is to verify that the specimens have arrived frozen, and if you requested them, insemination syringes are included. And then that will look like so. You'll also be verifying that the cryovials are labeled with the correct donor number, vial number, and specimen date. I'll put that to the side for now. Then we'll use insulated gloves and our eye protection. We're just gonna check that we receive the vial that we ordered. And we're wearing this PPE to remove a specimen from the tank. So we'll remove the lid of the tank by cutting the cable tie off. Okay. And then pulling the plug straight up without twisting it. You should see a little puff of liquid nitrogen vapor as you remove the plug. This just indicates that the inside of the tank is still at the proper temperature to keep the samples frozen. Using the handle, we'll lift the interior canister so that the tops of the canes are visible so that you can verify the donor number. And I'm just verifying it against the packing slip. So I have donor 5787 and specimen freeze date of 4/7/23. Yep. And then we'll gently remove the cane containing the frozen samples from the cane sleeve, making sure not to remove the cane sleeve from the canister as you pull out the cane containing the vial. The vials can then be checked against the packing slip to confirm that you have received the correct donor, specimen date, vial number, and number of vials. So I'll do that right now. I have an IUI, donor number 5787, specimen date 4/7/23, vial number 1, and FFX-1. After verifying that the information on the cane and cryovials are correct, place the cane back into the cane sleeve. as quickly as possible. Lower the canister to the bottom of the cryotank and replace the top. Be sure to line up the groove of the styrofoam core with the canister handles so that the core fits back in properly. Failure to replace the styrofoam core could result in evaporation of the nitrogen vapor and subsequent loss of your specimens. Do not lift the top of the cane above the top of the opening of the tank for longer than a few seconds, as this may allow the specimen to start thawing. As a reminder, tank temperature is critical. Our tanks will keep specimens adequately frozen for 7 days, with day 1 being the date of shipment/pickup. It is important that the specimens be used before the end of this 7-day time period. The shipping tank should be opened upon receipt and each morning thereafter to make sure that the samples are still frozen. You should see a puff of nitrogen vapor, indicating the tank is working as intended. If not, contact the cryobank immediately for instructions. Once a specimen has been thawed, it must be used immediately or thrown away. Do not try to refreeze and do not place specimens in a home freezer or on dry ice. When you are ready to do your home insemination, put on your insulated gloves and eye protection. Remove the lid of the cryotank and pull the plug straight up. Lift the canister by the handle so you can see the cane. And then we'll grasp the cane by the top and lift above the opening of the tank so that you can reach only the top cryovial. Any cryovials below the top one should not be lifted above the opening of the tank. But in this demonstration purposes, we only have one vial, so I'll take that right out. Exposed, grab the cryovial and remove it from the aluminum cane holder. If there are additional vials on the cane, replace it back into the cane sleeve as quickly as possible and lower the canister to the bottom of the tank. So I'll just put the cane back into the cane sleeve and lower that. And then replace the tank top securely. And then of course, when you do that, line up the groove of the styrofoam core with the canister handle so that the core fits back in properly. Failure to replace the styrofoam core could result in evaporation of the nitrogen vapor and subsequent loss of your specimens. Now we'll wrap the vial in the paper towel for several seconds. And we'll place the specimen on the countertop at room temperature for 15 to 20 minutes or until thawed. Once the vial is warm, what we'll do is just gently tilt it back and forth to mix the specimen well. Next, we will get the syringe and then we'll remove it from the packaging. We'll pull the plunger up to break the seal and then push it back to its original position. I'll just put this here in the meantime. And then what we'll do is carefully unscrew the cap from the vial of semen. Now with our syringe, what we'll do is slowly guide it to the bottom of the vial, pull back on the plunger, drawing the semen into the syringe. Be careful not to pull the plunger all the way out of the syringe. And then in a reclining position, with your hips elevated on a pillow, you'll gently put the syringe into the vagina as far as it will go, and then push the plunger until it stops. This should take 3 to 4 seconds. After that, you'll remain lying down for the next 1 to 2 hours, turning back and forth from abdomen to back every 20 minutes. After that, you'll secure your cryotank with the included cable tie and then close this up and tape it with packing tape, and then slap the FedEx label on the side and drop it off to your nearest FedEx or schedule a pickup. We hope this information is helpful to you, and we're sending you all the baby dust on your family building journey with Fairfax Cryobank. Thanks for watching.